And gentlemen, everyone wants success, but only a few are ready to do what it truly requires. The difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck year after year comes down to one thing: focus, consistent, disciplined, daily focus. Not the kind of attention that fades after a few minutes when a notification pops up. Real focus is the type that changes you so much people who once knew you say, "You're not the same." That should be the goal. A year from now, you should look and live almost unrecognizably, not because of chance, but because of relentless focus. Most people live reactively. They wake up, grab their phones, reply to messages, scroll for quick bursts of pleasure, and then wonder why they feel anxious, stuck, or unfulfilled. Focus does not come by accident. It is a choice you make daily. You choose not to check your phone the moment you wake. You decide to start the day with intention. You set priorities before distractions compete for your attention. Over time, this routine transforms you. You stop acting like your old self. You stop waiting for approval. You build discipline, and that discipline becomes your new identity. There is power in consistently doing hard things. Each time you follow through, even without motivation, you strengthen trust in yourself. That self-trust becomes the true foundation of confidence. Many assume confidence is about walking into a room and feeling good. It's not. Confidence is quiet. It's knowing you can count on yourself to keep your word. Focus builds this confidence, and as you collect small wins, waking up early, completing workouts, avoiding distractions, you begin to outgrow your past self. You stop relying on motivation and instead move with momentum. Here's the reality. To become unrecognizable, you must be willing to be misunderstood. You will need to say no when others say yes. You will need to block out noise. This may mean fewer parties, fewer late nights, and fewer empty conversations. It means accepting that you'll miss out sometimes, but for something greater. This part is often overlooked. Focus can feel isolating, but it is also one of the highest forms of self-respect. When you focus, you send a message to yourself and the world. My goals matter. My time matters. My future matters. It's not about perfection. It's about commitment. You will slip up. You will get distracted. That doesn't mean failure. It means you're human. The difference is that focused people reset quickly. They don't dwell on mistakes for days. They notice, adjust, and keep going. That is the power of awareness. The more aware you are of how habits shape you, the easier it becomes to change. Transformation is never instant. You don't become disciplined and unstoppable from one video or book. That transformation happens when you choose each day to act with purpose. Do the work. Protect your time and stop living on autopilot. You stop scrolling and start creating. You stop overthinking and begin moving forward. Slowly, your life begins to reflect your effort. People will notice and say, "You've changed." And you'll know they're right. You have changed. You focused, you worked, you sacrificed, and you built something solid. In the process, you became someone even you might not fully recognize, but in the best way. That is the aim. Keep focusing until you are unrecognizable, until old excuses no longer match the new you, until your daily habits reflect the life you once only imagined. Because your future is not built on luck, it is built on focus, steady, disciplined, consistent focus. With that gift, there is no limit to who you can become. Focus is not about quick bursts of energy. It is about persistence over time. Anyone can stay motivated for a few days or weeks, but real change happens when you remain focused during dull moments, when no one is watching, when there is no recognition. That is when your identity shifts. The truth is, most people quit when progress feels repetitive. They believe if it isn't exciting, it isn't working. That is a mistake. Progress is found in repetition. Success is built in ordinary routines. The early mornings, the workouts, the discipline, the repeated no to distraction. Focus makes you unrecognizable because it forces you to shed the version of yourself that needed constant stimulation, distraction, and quick rewards. Focus requires maturity. It calls for ownership of your time. It demands that you stop blaming circumstances and start taking control of your choices. This change, when you stop being a victim of your environment and begin shaping your reality, is when everything shifts. And yes, others may not understand. They may call you obsessed or ignore your boundaries. That's fine. They are not supposed to understand your mission. It belongs to you. You must let go of needing approval, fitting in, or explaining yourself to those who aren't on the same path. Focus is not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it better. It's about clearing out the noise so you can hear your own voice. That inner voice, the one that knows you're meant for more, becomes louder when you stop drowning it out with distraction. Think about the hours lost to scrolling, overthinking, or worrying about others' opinions. Now imagine investing that same time into your goals. The version of yourself you want to become is already inside you, but it won't come alive without action. It isn't about the perfect plan or flawless routine. It's about making a real choice to take control. What you truly need is a reason to commit, a reason to stop playing small and waiting for the perfect time. Maybe it's for your future family, the life you once promised yourself, or simply to prove you're capable. Whatever your reason is, hold it close. It will be the anchor when you feel tired, doubtful, or discouraged. This level of focus builds more than progress. It builds self-respect. When you keep your word to yourself, you begin to trust yourself, and that trust changes how you feel about your life. You stop feeling stuck or fraudulent, and start moving, speaking, and thinking with confidence. Others will see it, but the most important change is how you see yourself. The goal is not to be better than anyone else. It's to be better than you were yesterday. Each day brings choices between distraction or discipline, comfort or growth, excuses or action. These choices stack up over time. Focus compounds, and so does transformation. Eventually you will look in the mirror and see someone you barely recognize, not because you lost yourself, but because you became who you were always meant to be. This is not hype. Transformation comes from steady, consistent effort. The version of you on the other side of focus can only be reached through discipline. Greatness isn't accidental. Confidence and success don't come from luck. They are built by showing up every day, especially when it's inconvenient, difficult, or unnoticed. That is real focus. Doing less but better, removing distractions, and listening to the voice inside that knows you're meant for more. That is the divide between those who rise and those who stay average. Average people quit when life feels quiet. Focused people grow stronger in silence. You must train yourself to value progress over popularity. While others chase attention, the focused person builds something lasting. Focus transforms more than your results. It reshapes your character. You grow more patient, intentional, and aligned with purpose. You begin to see distractions clearly as thieves of time, energy, and future. You protect your hours as if your life depends on them, because it does. The truth is, most people don't fail for lack of talent. They fail because they keep starting over. Every distraction, every abandoned project, every early exit erases the progress they could have kept. The issue isn't ability, it's focus. Focus gives direction to your potential and turns effort into strength. When you know your goals and remove what doesn't serve them, your life begins to improve quietly but surely. Then the world will notice, but by then you won't be doing it for approval. You'll be doing it because you felt what it's like to live fully focused and nothing compared. Focus reveals what truly matters. When you stop chasing every shiny thing, stop trying to please everyone, and stop letting notifications control you, clarity appears. Clarity is a superpower. It makes choices easier, removes hesitation, and gives you direction. That's when momentum builds. You start closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But here's the truth. Focus requires discomfort. It's not easy to sit with your thoughts instead of numbing them. It's hard to say no to comforts you once enjoyed. It's tough to wake earlier, work longer, and demand more from yourself. Yet beyond that discomfort is freedom. The freedom to design a life you don't need to escape, because it's one you're proud of. Yes, focus has costs. It may mean less time with people who don't share your vision. It may mean weekends that look different from your friends' plans. But those sacrifices are the price of building a life that reflects who you truly want to be. The rewards outweigh the costs, and the struggle becomes worth it. Deep focus will cost you your old self, the version that made excuses, settled for less, and quit when things got hard. But what you gain is far greater: self-respect, momentum, and results. You become someone who doesn't just dream but acts, someone who doesn't just hope but follows through. That version of you already exists, but won't come alive until you commit. Ask yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice for the life you want? You cannot live like everyone else and expect to stand out. You cannot scatter your energy and expect meaningful progress. You must choose focus over noise, consistency over chaos, discipline over distraction. Do this long enough and in a year you won't even recognize yourself. That is the goal, not to prove others wrong, but to prove to yourself that you can become everything you're meant to be. Each day you face a choice: align with your goals or with your excuses, move forward or stay stuck, focus or distract yourself. The life you want is possible. It's just hidden behind the distractions you keep choosing. Focus isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most, consistently and with intention. Most people don't fail from lack of talent or vision. They fail from lack of focus. They start strong but lose steam, slipping back into old patterns. Without focus, energy is wasted, potential fades, and dreams stay dreams. The reason many never become who they could be isn't lack of desire, it's lack of discipline. They never train their mind to stay locked on one goal long enough to finish. We live in a world built to scatter attention, with distractions designed to be addictive. But when you decide to control your focus, you become powerful. Progress replaces problems. Momentum replaces stagnation. Consistency sets you apart from amateurs. With focus, motivation is no longer the driver, because motivation fades. Focus becomes your system. You stop waiting to feel inspired. You do the work anyway. That follow-through, even on the hard days, builds grit. You begin to see yourself as someone who finishes. Over time, that work ethic compounds. It turns potential into real results. People may not understand. They may say you've changed, that you're too serious or too focused. Let them. They can't see what you see or know what you're building. Their opinions don't matter. Focus isn't about them. It's about you and the future you choose to create. If you want average results, keep doing what average people do. But if you want to become exceptional, you must commit even when it's difficult, lonely, or unseen. Focus multiplies effort. Instead of scattering energy, you go deep. Progress accelerates. Learning speeds up. Growth compounds. What once felt impossible becomes normal. This transformation takes hours of deep work, days when nothing seems to change, and weeks when results are invisible. Anyone can grind when it's easy. Focus proves its strength when it's quiet, when no one is watching, yet you keep going. The person you want to become already exists, but you won't meet them if you stay distracted or wait for the perfect moment. Focus is what turns intentions into results. It makes you not only productive, but fully alive. When you lock onto a mission, wake with purpose, and align your time with your values, you start becoming who you were meant to be. That shift makes you unrecognizable, not from appearances or quick wins, but from the internal change of choosing discipline over ease, growth over comfort, and purpose over popularity. If you're tired of feeling stuck or repeating the same year, it's time to choose differently. Start small, remove one distraction, build one system, focus on one goal, and protect it fiercely. Show up daily, not perfectly, but relentlessly. Stop negotiating with excuses. Do this, and the change won't be gradual, it will be dramatic. People won't recognize you, and that isn't a side effect. That's the point. Focus until you are unrecognizable, because that disciplined, fulfilled, powerful version of you is waiting. At some point you realize being average is a choice, and so is being great. Everything shifts once you choose focus. Your mindset sharpens, your energy strengthens, and your goals become non-negotiable. You start operating on a higher level, not because you're better than anyone else, but because you've committed fully to what matters. Instead of chasing distractions, you give everything to one clear purpose. That decision builds the discipline that transforms you. The world will always fight for your attention, notifications, opinions, obligations, temptations, all designed to scatter your focus. Without intention, you risk living reactively, instead of creating intentionally. But the moment you take control of your attention, you reclaim your power. Focus isn't just about productivity, it's a way of living. It proves your purpose is stronger than your excuses. Every time you persist when quitting would be easier, you strengthen a new identity built on action, not words. Extraordinary results come from extraordinary habits. To transform, you must starve distractions and become deliberately obsessed with progress. You clarify your goals and design systems that keep you aligned. Confidence grows when your daily actions match the person you want to become. Focus isn't perfection. You'll have setbacks, but it gives you the reason to keep going. You're not chasing quick wins. You're building something lasting, a legacy that requires time, endurance, and grit. Most give up too soon because they expect instant results. Focus trusts the process and keeps showing up. One of focus's greatest rewards is clarity. When distractions are gone, space opens for what matters. You stop reacting and start making deliberate choices. You become more selective with time, energy, and company. You seek challenge instead of comfort. You stop settling. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about appearance, it's about new standard. It's about thinking and acting differently, holding yourself accountable at a higher level. The journey can feel lonely, because focus often requires walking alone while others stay distracted. But that's the cost of transformation. You're not here to blend in, you're here to become everything you were meant to be. The disciplined, focused, unstoppable version of you emerges through sacrifice. Focus demands choosing what you want most over what you want now. It means waking each day with urgency, knowing time is your greatest asset. You don't need approval, perfect conditions, or external validation. You need one decision, one clear choice, to commit fully, reject mediocrity, and pursue growth so relentlessly that the old you disappears and people barely recognize who you've become. Change doesn't happen when others believe in you. It happens when you believe in your ability to focus and follow through. Let today be the turning point. Draw the line between who you were and who you're becoming. Cut the excuses. Eliminate distractions. Lock in on your purpose. Focus until your results speak louder than your words. Until your habits reflect your highest standards. Until your life mirrors the vision you refuse to abandon. That is the power of focus, and it starts now.